Hey, beautiful souls, beautiful sunshine here with DR Holistic Healer, aka Sonya B. I'm back with another prophetic message that I received this morning. Keep in mind that some of these energies could have already be happening for some of you guys, or it could be happening in the near future, couple of weeks, couple of months from now. Take it how it resonates. But just remember that if the energies aren't happening to you, it could be happening to someone else that is around you. So keep that in mind as well too. And I just want to say, for those of you who are new, welcome to my channel. For those of you who are returning, thank you so much for returning. Anyway, so let me just get straight into the message, because I don't know how much time I have for battery storage, but hopefully I can get through this message. But anyway, so I received 3 messages last night, right? Or this morning, should I say. So the first message came, and I'm going to just try to sum it up as much as possible. Something in your life is going to happen in three waves is what I saw, because there was like this train that was coming, and for some particular reason, it's like I kept trying to jump on this train. So whatever it may be in your life, because just take it how it resonates. The message comes to me in this way so that I can understand how to deliver it. But for you, the situation may be the same, but the scenario may be a little different. Meaning, like, for me, it was trying to jump on this train. For other people, it could be whatever situation that you possibly dealing with in your life, if this message resonates with you. If it doesn't, then I'm not talking to you. But if you find things already happening twice in the same manner, and then you feel like it's coming back around again a third time, just know that things come in threes. So anyway, so with all that being said, as I was saying, it was like in a dream, there was this train, and I was trying to find myself jumping on this train. And it's like, I saw the train coming, and I had the mindset of, okay, let me try to hop on this train even while it's going. So with that being said, the train went in a direction. I can't remember what happened in that first dream. So I don't remember, like, the train just vanished in some particular way. But then the second dream, I mean, it's this is still the same dream, I'm sorry. So the second time, this train had appeared again a second time. So with this train had appeared a second time, what happened this time around was I saw the train coming yet again. And this time it's like I felt like I was trying to hop on this train again. But some particular reason, this train kind of managed to disappear into like the wall and somehow falling down. Like, if you think about, because this is what it was kind of vibe it was kind of giving me, behind the bathroom tile. Hold on, y'all, I feel a sneeze coming on. If you think about if you think about how a bathroom tile looks, but just imagine this tile being very big, but you know it's a bathroom, but for some particular reason, this train is going through the tiles. Well, the train went through the tiles, but it didn't make a big mess like you would think that it made, because it was like this really small, skinny slit in the wall. And it's like the train somehow managed to go through that little slit. And then it's like, but I wasn't able to get through the slit. And it's almost like I was sitting up there banging, like took my fist and punched the wall in a sense. And I looked down behind the sink, look down behind like the bathroom tile, and I could see nothing but framework behind that. So it was empty, dark, and and the train was falling down there into the depths or whatever. So anyway, but that was the end of that dream. But then it wasn't the end of that dream. And then it came again, like a train was coming again. So this time the train was coming, and what had happened was I was like in a, how like if you think about if I'm saying this right, like how in the wild you see like the zebras, and the zebras are just out there, and or even I don't know how do I want to refer to it as? I kind of get it like it was like, if you think about on National Geographic channel, when they have like the wild animals, and it's like all this open plain, right? But then there's like this puddle of water, like you have zebras, you have in different pockets of that area, and then you have like alligators that's like in the water or whatever the case may be. There's just waiting for zebras to come and drink a little bit of water, and then find themselves being caught up in with an alligator trying to eat them, should I say. But anyway, I'm just trying to give you a visual. But the scenery was kind of like that. So it was like, it was a very open plain. I didn't see any other animals around, but I saw this train coming yet again. So as this train was coming, it was coming fast this time. So this time I was calling myself trying to hop on it again. And so this time as I was trying to hop on it, the train like went down into the water. And as it went down into the water, I realized I also went into the water too, but the train somehow disappeared. So as I went down into the water, it's almost like I realized that I was in this water. The train wasn't nowhere around. So I realized I was in water with alligators, should I say. So I herped and jumped out of the water, and I basically, pulled myself out to the point that I stood on the side, but that was pretty much the end of the dream. So that was just letting me know in some way, shape, or form, some of you guys are going to find yourselves dealing with a situation that's going to come in threes. How it's going to come, I don't know, and it may be different for everyone. So that train was a representation of either, I get it two ways. Someone is trying to hop on a train, kind of like that same energy that I told you before, like people trying to take shortcuts. I get that energy, and then I also get the fact of, I don't know if I'm getting the fact of waiting too late to try to hop on this train after it left, and it's just like there's no room for you on it, like you can't even hop on it in a sense, like the train is leaving. But thank you, Spirit. But I also feel like it's almost like Spirit wants to, and then I'm hearing it like from another perspective too, like it's almost like some of you guys being taken on a joyride with the train. Like you're trying to get on this train, you're trying to get on, but you're having a hard time with getting on. So it's like being taken on the unknown, in a sense, the depths of the unknown. That's what I'm hearing. Anyway, so what I'm also hearing Spirit say too, that there may be some challenges along the way, but some of you guys are trying, it's almost like some of you guys are willing to try to it's like you're thinking about it, but then it's like, so it's almost like a last minute decision is what I'm getting. Anyway, so let me move on from that one. So remember that's a situation you're gonna find yourself in like 3 different times. But anyway, this next dream came through. It was a dream of waiting, which is so funny because I kind of like, it's funny because I kind of pre-pulled some cards, and I'll show you in a minute. But for some particular reason, these 3 cards came out: the 4 Swords, and the Knight of Cups, and the Magician. But anyway, so the next dream was like as if I was like at a barbershop, right? Like as if I was taking my son to a barbershop. Although I didn't see my son in the barbershop, but I knew I was taking him to the barbershop. But it was like he was there, but he wasn't really there. So in the dream, it's like I was on the other side of the wall because the way that the barbershop was set up. I was sitting on the other side of the wall, but I was just sitting there and observing the barber who was closest to me. But for some particular reason, the barber who I was gonna go to was like kind of like literally right around the corner in a sense, but they were still in the same vicinity, but there was a wall that was kind of separating the two. So anyway, I say all that to say, it's like I was sitting down squatting on the floor, and I felt like I was like on my phone, but I was kind of looking at the barber who was close to me, just kind of observing what he was doing. But then the barber who my son was there to see, he came around a corner and he said, well, basically he was just letting me know, like, I guess you're here to get a haircut. And I was like, not me, but my son. I was like, yeah. And I was like, well, how many more do you have? And then he said, I have 3 people. So again, this is the number 3 yet again. So I found myself waiting prior to him coming around the corner. So because he told me that there were 3 more people in front of me, that was another period of waiting yet again. So some of you guys may find yourself having to wait, and this wait period may come in the waves of 3 different times or whatever. So keep that in as mind as well. But that was pretty much the end of that dream. So this third dream came through as if it was oh, okay, I'm sorry. So this third dream came through as if it was like, it came in a form as if like like it came in a form as if my mom was sitting there waiting on my sister, like outside my door, right? And I say all that to say, like, because the way it came is like I have this little bar table in my kitchen or whatever, and it's like that bar table was outside at the entryway of my walkway, right? And then my mom, at first I was out there with her as well, and then next thing you know, I decided that I told my mom, I said, you know what, she's taking too long, so you know, it's really been a long time now. I've been sitting here waiting for a minute, so I was like, I'm not waiting anymore. But it's almost like energetically my mom chose to continue to still wait, as if she was waiting on her. So I made the conscious effort of just walking away and doing what it was and taking care of whatever business I needed to take care of, because I decided I wasn't going to wait on anybody at that point. So some of you guys may find yourself in a waiting period, and for whatever reason this waiting period is just meant for you to observe, pay attention, and use your discernment, is what I'm hearing. So again, this is a second time that things are showing up in threes. So 3 is a very significant number, and usually 3 is an indication of completion or whatever the case may be. So I just want to make you aware of that. And you know how sometimes things can happen in life and it seems like things come in threes. Well, this is a situation of kind of like that situation where it feel like it's kind of coming in threes. But anyway, so this so this last dream, which was so weird because this one came through, and okay, so this one came through. Okay, let me say it like this. So, thank you, Spirit. So this one came through of, if you're somebody who, let's just say, if you may be, thank you, Spirit. If you may be spiritually unaware of maybe like things that people do, and you're not really familiar with like the spiritual world, should I say, and let's just say hypothetically, you know how some people may say, oh, well, pray for me, or whatever the case may be, and so on and so on. Well, this came in a form as if it was someone basically saying, telling, okay, so it was as if somebody had came to get their hair done at a hair salon, right? And it was almost like, it's almost like they came to the hair salon to get their hair done, and it's giving me the lady who was coming to get her hair done, and this is very significant, so just be mindful of this. So the lady who came to get her hair done, she was an older lady, and I got the feeling that she was a church going lady. Oh, so someone who's been in the church for years, so be mindful of that. And I say all that to say, because this, thank you, Spirit, this can also come in the form of whether it is a female or whether it is a male, but because I saw it as a female, this is just energy just to be mindful of, but does not mean that it cannot come in a male form as well too, so be mindful of that. So the lady came to get her hair done, right? And then the lady who owned the salon, basically, she had just finished the lady's hair, and then the lady had basically, I didn't see any money exchange, but I knew that she had just paid for her getting her hair done. And it's almost like the owner got a little sidetracked for us giving the lady her change. And then I had said out loud, I said, well, don't forget to give her change, or don't forget to give her, I told the lady, don't forget your change, is what I said. So, and then the owner, because I said that, it reminded them, oh, let me give her the change. And then so after that, it's just like the lady had basically, it's almost like, I kind of got the feeling like, I kind of like see it two ways. And I say two ways, I mean like, one, it was a situation of a person forgetting their change, and they wasn't really worried about it, because it's almost like then this person owes them, you know, like if you forget to get your change at the store, then the store owes you some change, so they owe you something. So I kind of get the feeling like it was almost done intentionally, like in one situation, then another situation where the owner just, you know, kind of forgot to almost give the change, but somebody had reminded them to make sure that you get your change. So I say all that to say that there was a situation that The situation came in a form of the owner. It's almost like the lady didn't want to. Okay, I'm sorry, bear with me. I'm trying to give it to you how exactly I saw it. So it's the second scenario came in a form as if the lady and her change, right? So imagine if you try to give somebody something, but they're like, no, 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 it's okay, in a sense. And then it's almost like, it's almost a sense of feeling like you owe somebody something. So basically with the church lady, okay, bear with me. So the owner of the shop basically said, well, basically pray for me, right? So the church lady never said whether she would pray for her or not. That's the point. She would never say whether she would pray for her, but the lady had said to pray for her. And the point I'm trying to make is, because in so many words, it's like, thank you, Spirit. It's almost like the lady was willing to give her a break for his paying, in this sense. So in other words, like, instead of me paying you, it's almost like I was getting the feeling of the owner was saying, pray for me, in a sense. Like, okay, well, I'm going to give you this service. Thank you, Spirit. I'm going to give you this service for free, in other words. But what I'm asking you to do in return is to pray for me, in a sense. So that's what I saw, and that's what I got. So basically I end up telling the older lady as I walked away, because I felt like the lady who owned the shop, I felt like she didn't know. I felt like she wasn't really too aware of how things happen energetically behind the scenes, in a sense. Like it's almost like I was spiritually guiding her, in a sense, or I was standing there as like a protector, in a sense, like to make sure, okay, well, make sure you give them their change, so that way, the laws say that you didn't take, but you did also give something, in other words. So with that being said, I basically told the lady, when the owner had basically said to pray for her, I basically went to the lady and basically told her, I said, hey, make sure you do what's right? That's what I told her. And then she kind of mumbled something, but just her facial expression was just like, it was really giving me the vibes of, how people have been in the church for years. This is no target at people in the church, because there's some people in there who are really truly worshiping God, and so on and so on, and then you have those who've been there for years who have not evolved and who have not changed, and still stuck in the old mindset. Let me say that. So for some particular reason, I kept getting the energy, church lady. So anyway, but what I want to make you aware of is God was just basically, and when I got that message this morning, I went and took a shower, right? And then all these other messages started coming to me in regards to that message. So things that was coming to me, it was just basically saying, when you go to somebody who's basically in the church and asking to pray for you, you have to look at the fruits of their life. You have to look at how they live their life. You have to look at if they have integrity, morals, value, and self-respect for themselves. And you have to not only just look at how they carry themselves, but you got to look so much deeper than what they're showing you on the outside. And I say all that to say, sometimes it's good to, thank you, Spirit. Sometimes it's good to be quick to listen and slow to speak. And just be an observer. There's just like me. When I go out here in my neighborhood, sometimes I'm just observing every single thing that takes place. And it's almost like Spirit just shows me things that are out of place, and, kind of what people are doing. Not that I want to go looking for it, but I'm thankful for that Spirit brings it to my attention, or whatever the case may be. Because it allows me to want to start praying, or start saying a prayer, or whatever the case may be. But just to remind myself to know that I am shielded and I'm protected, but I say all that to say that in these days, and I keep hearing And I heard earlier, thank you, Spirit. I heard early in the third hour. In the third hour. And I was like, well, wait a minute. And I actually totally forgot, like, because I meant to Google that because I heard it earlier too. And Spirit is just reminding me of it. I heard it earlier too. And the first thing I thought to the third hour, the third hour. I could have sworn in the Bible. So look it up. Don't just take my word for it, because right now I can't, because I'm on my phone. And normally sometimes I record from my daughter's phone or whatever. So I'm on my phone. So I don't have an extra phone to look up right now. And I don't have a computer in front of me. So I say all that to say that the third hour, I believe when Jesus went to the cross and he was being, nailed to the cross, and actually he was up there. I want to say that the third hour before the Spirit had arose in him. I don't know why I was getting that, but obviously this message was just reminding me of, because, the Spirit showed up for Jesus, but everybody who was out there witnessing his downfall or witnessing him being nailed to the cross wasn't out there for his highest and his best good. You had those naysayers out there who wanted to see him on a cross, and then you had those people out there who truly was hurt by the fact of him being on a cross. So I say all that to say that sometimes, just because people are in your vicinity, if I'm saying that right, forgive me, that's the Georgia in me. But if people are in your vicinity, doesn't necessarily mean that they always have your highest and greatest good. And that's what you have to remember too. And you have to look at how people live their life. Listen to the things that people say. Do you hear? And most of all, what was coming through, it says, basically, it was just basically reminding me to test this, basically saying to remember to test the spirit. And when testing the spirit means that just because somebody comes saying, oh God this, or oh Holy Spirit that, look at how they live their life. Are they proclaiming God? Are they proclaiming the Holy Spirit? But yet they are, I'm hearing the word smite. Are they smiting somebody else? Are they, and when I say smiting some, I mean gossiping about somebody else. It's a different story if you're giving your testimony about a situation that you may be experiencing. But if you're sitting there just gossiping, oh, this person did this, and oh, this person did that, what I'm hearing Spirit say is chatty Cathy. So I say all that to say, how do they live their life? That's, that was one message that God was just telling me to write down. Do they move in integrity? It's like that sign back there. Do they move in integrity? Are they honest and forthcoming with their dealings? Do they have morals and standards? And morals just mean doing what's ethically right, is what I'm hearing. And standards is not just accepting any and everything. And yeah, and then I'm also hearing Spirit say, when you speak to them, are they speaking with having venom and hatred in their heart? You just have to listen to what people say. And honestly, what I'm also seeing Spirit say too, like if you hear somebody who is actually spitting, because remember, there's life and death in the power of the tongue. So if you're saying some negative ass stuff, in a sense of that you're talking about somebody and you're just constantly throwing negativity their way, should I say, you do not have to sit there and entertain that. You can just politely exit stage left. Oh, well, I have something where I need to go. I'm going to excuse myself in this conversation because I choose not to be a part of it. But you have a responsibility too. If you choose to sit there and entertain what it is that's being given to you, it's totally up to you. But just know that you are part of the problem when that happens. And not only that are you a part of the problem, but it's almost like you will be a part of receiving that same karma, because you're sitting there and you're listening to it, you're intaking it. And then therefore it kind of, like I used to tell people, like a birdie can float around in your ear or float around your head all day long, but it's up to you whether you decide to allow that birdie to plant a nest in your ear. So I say all that to say, sometimes when people are around negativity and hear negativity so much, it's almost like that can become ingrained into your own personal spirit. So you have to be mindful of that. And just standing there alone, if you understand how the energy works, if you imagine yourself, as I said the other day, let's just say if you walk past somebody in a grocery store in the summertime and you wearing shorts and you feel their air passing you, that's almost like that same energy that you feeling past you. Like imagine whatever negative energy that they may have, imagine some of that energy being around your aura field, should I say. So it's just mindful, it's just to be mindful of just the company that you just entertain, period. And then I also have, just be mindful of the things that you accept from people, especially if you know that they don't really have your best interests at heart. Or let's just say, hypothetically, if somebody's come and crack little jokes about you, oh, I'm just playing, and there's too many of those I'm just playing type games, but then yet they want to give you a gift or whatever the case may be. By all means, it's up to you to take it. But I know for me, I have learned to decline certain things, because I realize people's intentions aren't necessarily good when they're trying to give you a gift, because it's an entryway in a it's almost like that gift can basically, bringing that gift into your home is almost like being an open portal from you to that person, being attached to them in some sort of way. So that's why I said, it's just important, you if somebody chooses to give you something, you can take it if you choose to. But I would say, more importantly, discern the person who's giving it to you. And then not only that, just remembering, if it's somebody that you have known for some time, remembering their history, just remembering how they are as a person, and just remembering, like, do you like the qualities of this person? Have they always been authentic with me? Have they always been truthful? Can I trust this person? And if you have to second guess yourself, then you might want to be mindful whether you want to take something from them, should I say, because you don't know the intentions behind why they're giving the gift, should I say. Because one thing I've learned is that people's intention isn't always meant for good, should I say. So anyway, and then yeah, so if their actions doesn't line up with their words, or in other words, like, oh, oh, yes, I believe in God, yes, I believe in God, but then yes, I'm sitting there talking about, like, I saw this person, and this girl, oh, she was a hot mess, and so on and so on. No, that's not the Spirit of God. Thank you, Spirit. There was actually one quote that I have up on my mirror. I believe this is in a Bible verse, so you can Google it yourself. Like I said, I can't do it because normally I would try to come with, facts or whatever the case may be, or scripture or whatever. But it says that, what is it? The scripture is, oh God, what was it? Oh, he who loves God. If I'm not saying that, I hope I'm saying that correctly. I believe I'm saying that correctly, but Google it for yourself anyway. Just don't trust everything I say. As I've always said before, if I'm giving you a scripture, you could Google it yourself. But 9 times out of 10, I usually try to put it always in the description box. And if I remember when I get off this phone, I'll try to make sure I put in the description box that quote. But anyway, so yeah, what else was it before I end this message? More importantly, to be discerning when dealing with Spirit came to me. Well, Spirit was reminded me, I'm sorry, it is what it is. Spirit just basically said church devils, in other words. So in other words, to me, what a church devil was, what I was getting from what Spirit was saying, was someone who has been in the church for years, who have not changed, who has not grown, who has not evolved, but yet they proclaiming to be of God. And I say all that to say, and Spirit just brought to my attention, I remember one time I was in Costco's, right? So there's one lady who seems like she's always just, she seems like she's from the South somewhere, where I don't know, but I feel like she's from the South somewhere. But anyway, just her demeanor and so on and so on. But one day she said something, I was like, whoa, okay. She said something and it came off as negative, because I could have sworn I heard her say something about, I don't know if like have a blessed day or something like, or stay blessed or something like that, or whatever the case may be. But I say all that to say, I think this man had did something one day when we went in there, and she said something to him, and I can't really quote what she said, but I just know that the words that came out of her mouth, my daughter was telling me what she said. I was like, what? I was like, oh, okay. So I just say all that to say, she appears to be, she had appeared to be basically quiet a lot of times when I saw her, but it was always, oh, y'all stay blessed, or whatever the case, or whatever the case may be. But nevertheless, but to hear that comment come out of her mouth, or whatever the case may be, I was like, oh, okay. So, I was just like, it was just reminding me to be mindful, because I've heard that now from her. So in other words, if she says something, to basically call her on it, especially if she's saying it to me. But anyway, I say all that to say that the words she said to the man or whatever, I didn't think that they were very positive or whatever. So, and I thought to myself that it's almost like when you think about, let me say it like this. When you say stuff, it's almost a form of speaking negativity, but not only speaking negativity, a form of like witchcraft or black magic. When you saying just my personal opinion, when you saying something that's not positive, you know? Anyway, so, and then Spirit also saying if there's someone who a gossiper, well, I've always said like this: if you can gossip about a person, and I've always told people, if you got something you want to say to me, say it to me. You know, you don't need to go say it to somebody else. I don't know why you telling them, but I just feel like that's people's way of taking a coward's way out, because they talk about a person behind their back. But I'm not saying that that's not my focus here. But what I am saying is, I have told people before, you know, that if you have something to say to me, say it to me. You know, you don't need to say it to somebody else behind, you know, you don't need to go say it to the other person. Why? Because it's not even involving the other person. So it has nothing to do with them. And therefore, if they can just make the situation even worse. So the other one was, so yeah, just be mindful of that. But I just do want to let you know too, like this morning, I mean, the energy was just so weird this morning, which is so funny because I kind of saw it in threes this morning. So this morning when we went to walk our dog real quick, you know, it was almost like the energy was kind of coming through. And again, it kind of came in threes, should I say. The first incident I saw when we was walking the dog or whatever the case may be, my dog, I can tell she was about ready to start barking at another dog, but I saw this old lady, right? And I want to make you guys aware of this too. Be mindful. I'm not telling you to, that's why it's so important to just use your discerning spirit of who to help and who to just stay the hell away from. And I say that to say, because I realized that even in little old women or little old men, these people are actually warlocks and wizards. And you know, I know that may sound far-fetched to some of y'all, but I'm so serious. Like, these people can allow themselves to appear as if they're innocent and old and fragile and helpless. And I'm gonna tell you why I said that. And because I've actually thought this a few days from now, or actually a couple of days from now, like, and I'm not trying to make this message fear-based, but I'm just trying to make you guys aware. So I say all that to say that the old lady, because she had like a little walking stick, and I thought to myself, like, she's down here and she's walking a little long way by herself for her to be that old and having like a stick, right? But then my dog started kind of barking a little bit, but then her dog started kind of barking a little bit, but my dog sound more not